All right, let's just get right into it. If you're in the event world, you already know this. Stuff goes wrong. It just does. But here's the thing. What separates the good planners from the legendary ones? It's not about creating a perfect plan. Nope. It's all about mastering that inevitable plan B. So today, that's what we're doing. We're going to build that expert's resilience manual together. And this right here, this is the absolute heart of it all. Seriously, forget those perfect glossy photos you see on Instagram for a minute. Your real reputation, the one that actually gets you those high-end referrals and builds your name, that is forged in the fire. It's all about what you do when the caterer is stuck in traffic, the keynote's laptop won't connect, or, a freak thunderstorm rolls in. That's when your client sees exactly what they're paying you for. So, the first big step is a massive mindset shift. You see, the top-tier planners, they don't burn themselves out trying to prevent every tiny little thing from going wrong. I mean, come on, that's impossible, right? Instead, they just accept it. They know there's always going to be a gap between the beautiful plan on paper and the messy reality of event day. Their genius lies in building systems that close that gap instantly. And there's a name for this superpower. It's called anticipatory planning. And honestly, this is the secret weapon. It's not just about being a quick thinker when things go south. No. It's about looking into your crystal ball, weeks, maybe even months ahead, and seeing all the ways things could go wrong. And then you build the solutions right into your plan from day one. It's playing chess, not checkers. Totally proactive. Okay, so how do we actually do this? Well, it all starts with architecting your plan B. And I'm not talking about some fuzzy idea you have in the back of your mind. We're talking about a real, documented, pre-built infrastructure of solutions and fail-safes. The whole point is, when a problem hits, you're not running around trying to invent a fix. You're just activating a contingency plan you already made. Simple as that. Let's get into the nitty-gritty. First up, back up your vendors. I'm talking a 3-deep contact list for every single critical service. And the key is, they all know they're on your backup list. Second, back up your tech. Man, never ever rely on just one thing. Your big presentation, it needs to be on your laptop, on a physical flash drive in your pocket, and saved up in the cloud. 3 copies, no excuses. And finally, your location, especially for outdoor events. You got to have a backup spot with what we call a rain day trigger. That's just a fancy way of saying you and the client agree ahead of time on the exact deadline to make the call. It takes all that last-minute stress right out of the equation. Okay, so having those systems in place, absolutely crucial. But let's be real. Most of the time, a crisis isn't just a broken microphone. It's about people. You got a stressed out client, vendors who are confused, a team that's getting anxious. So leading through that kind of chaos, well, that's all about mastering the human side of things. And this idea is just genius for managing that human chaos. It's called a crisis tree. Think of it like a chain of command. This simple setup gives your team the power to put out the small fires themselves, which is amazing. It means you only get pulled in for the big stuff. But here's the most important part. It shields your client from all that unnecessary drama and stress. They only get a call from you if something is truly mission critical. Something that's going to hit the budget, a safety issue, or change the whole core vision of the event. You have to remember, your energy is contagious. It sets the tone for the entire event. When a problem pops up, the amateur, well, they start running around, they're yelling into their radio, and their frantic panic, it goes straight to the client. Instant alarm bells. But the pro, they operate with what I call grace under pressure. Their motto is low volume, high speed. The problem gets fixed quietly, super fast, and totally behind the scenes. The client, they just see you calmly handling things, and they feel completely confident. That's the difference. All right, let's talk about building your fortress. Because it's not all just about mindset and communication, right? You need actual, tangible things that protect you, your business, and your client when things go sideways. We're talking about your financial, your legal, and your physical safety nets. Think of your contracts and insurance policies as the literal walls of that fortress. Let's look at a few examples. Scope creep, right? When the client just keeps adding and adding and adding. Your defense is a super detailed contract, and the solve, a formal addendum for any new request that they have to sign. Or what about a vendor just not showing up? Total nightmare. Your prevention is, of course, confirming with them constantly, but your real protection is a penalty clause you put in their contract from the very beginning. And for the big one, total event cancellation, you protect your own business with non-refundable deposits, and you protect your client by making sure they have event cancellation insurance. See, these aren't just boring papers. This is your armor. Okay, now for the physical part of your fortress. This is your battle box. It's your on-the-ground, real-world toolkit that you bring to every single event, no exceptions. What's in it? Everything you can think of. a mobile hotspot for when the venue's Wi-Fi inevitably dies, all the little aesthetic things like gaffer's tape and safety pins, a first aid kit, and crucially, a tablet that has every contract, every contact list, every guest list, all saved so you can get to it even with zero internet. The point is, you should never ever be hunting for a solution on the day of. It should be right there in your box, ready to go. And this brings us to the last piece of the puzzle, and honestly, it might be the most powerful one. A true pro doesn't just survive a crisis, they use it. They literally turn problems into progress. This is the secret engine that takes a good planning business and makes it an elite can't live without them agency.
So, I want you to really think about this for a sec. A problem happens at an event. What's the one thing that turns it into an actual total failure? A problem is only a failure if
You don't learn from it.
That's it. That's the whole game. Every little thing that goes wrong, every time you have to whip out that plan B, that's a priceless lesson. It's free tuition. It's your chance to make your process even stronger, to become totally bulletproof for the next client.
And this isn't just some feel-good idea. It's a real formal process. It's called the after-action report. After every event, especially the tough ones, you sit down with your team, you do a root cause analysis. You ask, okay, why exactly did plan A fail? Was it a vendor? Did we miss something in communication? And then, and this is the part people skip, but it's the most important, you turn that lesson into a rule. You update your standard operating procedures, your SOPs. You build the solution into your system so that that exact mistake can never, ever happen again. So, as we wrap this up, the big question isn't just what you learned today. It's what are you going to do about it? Think about all these things we've talked about. The vendor backups, that crisis tree, the clauses in your contract, the battle box. What is the very first brick you're going to add to your fortress starting right now?